The purpose of the Primetime Men's Stag meeting is to talk about the reason to come to Alcoholics Anonymous, to expose alcoholism not just as a word, but as a living, mind-powered disease. How the disease appears and functions, so awareness of the disease is there to see and recognize. Alcoholism is called ism because it is alive and functioning and needs to be treated. We discuss here strictly the disease as it functions in each of our own personal lives. The way our behavior is this day, the way we react or look at people, places, and things. We do not talk about drunkalogs, yesterday's problems, or blaming other people. We talk only about looking inwardly, describing how self behaves in the day that we are in. We do refer to steps, but only in describing the treatment or non-treatment of our disease today. This is not a step study meeting. First, we will have a speaker who will talk about the purpose of coming to AA for approximately 25 to 30 minutes. Then we will have sharing and or questions and answers. Sharing is strictly limited to 3 to 5 minutes. We do want everyone to have a chance to participate. We do not allow foul language or disclosing the last names of others. This meeting is recorded and recordings travel all over. Hey, I'm Pat. I'm an alcoholic. Happy birthday, Sasha. That's incredible. That's God. He was saying how he had a problem show up in his life and he got into action and then he felt better. So that's God. He got into action and he felt better. God is like an action. God is almost like a verb for me or something. It's like, I'm not going to just... There's this saying, what is it, like, you have to give, to receive, you have to give. Like, I have to, like, make an effort. God isn't just going to, like, fix me or change me. I have to make a conscious effort. Like Sasha talks about getting into action. And, like, there's a whole chapter about that. It's like, that's how I find God. And it was through this particular meeting that I really, like, found, like, just even saying the word God. I have a friend here who has known me basically my whole life. And he knew who I was before I got sober. I've never even been to a meeting with him. He's here right now. This dude saw me. Like, I wore an upside-down cross. Like, I had the upside-down American flag in my room. I had, like, the Indian quotes. I had, like, Haile Selassie on the wall. Like, I was, like, well, that kind of doesn't make sense because Haile Selassie is, like, kind of, like, very, like, spiritual and godlike. But I was just, like, anti-God, anti-religion. Religion divides. Religion is only a reason for us to be separate. I had all these justifications and reasons for why I wasn't down with, like, your God. So I brought all that into these rooms. Like, I brought that into getting sober. Like most alcoholics, we basically have built up a character that's like the exact opposite of the kind of character who's going to hear the message in this room. So it's just a freaking miracle that I heard it. I didn't hear it. For the first couple of years, I just, like, was driven on self-will and pride. And, I got on my knees and prayed a little bit. But at the end of the prayer, it was like, and this is what I want. Can you help me get that? But, like, through your will, but, like, this is, like, what I want it to look like. Not, like, fully, like, if your will for me is to, like, be, without a chick, without a car, without a job, like Sam Jackson in Pulp Fiction, like just walking the earth like Cain, like homeless. He's like, you're going to be homeless. And he's like, well, that's what I'm supposed to be then. Like, that's like fully surrendering to this power. And I just wasn't really ready for that because I didn't really admit complete defeat. I learned how to do that here, and once I could do that, I could really have an open mind and like really let another power in, like, and for me to really have complete defeat, I had to like hit a bottom in sobriety. And be humiliated enough to have humility, and be surrendered enough like to surrender. And through that surrender, I found like the most incredible freedom I've ever found. I always quote this Janis Joplin line: freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. Because it just like, it hits home for me, because like, even now I have some stuff. I got some stuff. So I'm back in fear. I'm not free anymore. Like, it was in sobriety, I lost some stuff. I had this like cool little career going, and you guys have heard the story. So I try to like, when I share, I try to like, share like new stuff, so it's like not like premeditated. So I'm going to share a little bit about like, not what it was like, not a drunkalog, but kind of like before I started using, because I do think it's important. I was just at a retreat with some of my friends, a sober retreat, and it's so incredible that we get to go into like a beautiful place and like with other like-minded sober people, and like share like the woods and like nature, and like have like structure, like meetings, and like we go around the circle. We hike to this rock, and we have like a meeting on a rock, and there's this like crazy lake by Kennedy Meadows, and like we all share and stuff. And so I got, every year we have like a different person speak, and I was able to, they chose me to speak this year. So these are like my friends and stuff. So some of them like remember what I was like before. So I was sharing a little bit about that. So I think that alcoholism, like, it doesn't really matter if you're rich or poor or black or white or whatever. It's just like, or if you have trauma as a child or not. But when I was in like 3rd grade, I had this like disease called leg perthes, and I was like in a body cast, like where my legs were like spread open like this, and there was like a bar in between my legs, like in 3rd grade. So I had to like, I was in a wheelchair, and like my brother had to like wheel me to like the bathroom, and like it was like super humbling and like traumatizing, and like, and then I had like another operation, and then I had the cast put back on, and like my parents like sort of like tricked me into that. Like they're like, well, you have a big decision to make, like you can have an operation that'll fix it, and then like, but they didn't tell me about the cast part. So like I woke up in another body cast, like the worst experience of my life. Like they like tricked me into like, so I feel like that's like a big part of like my like not trusting people. I don't know, something happened there, and I was in that body cast, and then I got braces put on my legs where I had to like walk like Forrest Gump, like in like that. I had to walk like that for like 6 months. And like in 3rd, 4th grade with like Katie Boscovich, the chick I had a crush on, like watching me walk all weird. And like I remember playing handball one time, like I broke the braces. Like, and then Forrest Gump came out, and like he broke the braces, and it was like kind of cool. And then I got appendicitis. My appendix exploded inside my body, and I had to like have that removed, and I almost died. And then like I had this crazy like poison oak thing where it was just like all over, like everywhere, like, and I kept breaking my bones, and like, I don't know, I just was like super like, I was like always like a daredevil. I always like would just like do, so I think that like there was this thing that was ingrained in me. I'm different, you know? And I also feel like I had this unique ability to sort of put myself into like other people's shoes. Because like I remembered what it was like to be that dude in the classroom, and my dad would like make me play baseball in a body cast. Like I couldn't play, but I had to like show up and be on the field. And just like really like conditioned me to be this kind of like unique, different, like open mind. Like I base my whole life on like being different from you. Like I'm just different from you and probably better. Like I walk into the room and I'm like, I'm a little better than these guys. And that's just crazy. Like Sasha was saying, that's like insane. And then I'm in the bathroom and I'm like, what? Like I kind of like step back a little bit and I see that thinking. And I'm like, dude, like that's crazy. Like how are you like, how can I find a way to see us all as like one unit on like the same team, and like I have flaws, like you can help me and I can help you, and we're all unique in our own way, and there's no better or worse or good or bad or like everything. And like through like, you know, God and this like new understanding I have of like the world, and like this like, I always say it's like really hard to describe this with words, because the feeling I get from my God is indescribable. And the human language, like it's just, there's just not enough words to describe it. But I'm up here trying to. So like forgive me if like my articulation of this incredible feeling is like not perfect. But it's through like seeking this loving force. Like it's like this energy that's other than me. And when I do things like Sasha did, which is like do some step work when I'm in pain and I feel relief, or if I'm just driving and someone cuts me off and I'm like able to like see that they're maybe in a rush because they're late for like a super important interview or whatever, and I'm like not mad at them anymore, like that's God. So every time that happens, like my God gets like a little bit bigger every single time. So like I'm rightly relating myself to this power on a daily basis. So it's like, I'm not looking for like all the negative stuff, you know, I'm looking for the positive stuff. And when I'm looking for the positive stuff, I can attribute it to my God, and my God gets bigger, and then like in turn more positive things happen to me. It's like kind of like math or like science even. Like I could even try to explain this to like an atheist who's like, there is no God. And I'm like, well, if you just act with like love and compassion and like an open mind, like on a daily basis, like your life will probably just get better by chance. But we're really lucky that we have like a program and like a place to go so that like we're reminded of these things. And for me, like one of the most important things that I need to be reminded of is that like my mind is broken and I am powerless, sober or not. Step 1 says that I've admitted that I'm powerless over alcohol and that my life has become unmanageable. And if you're here, obviously you're powerless over alcohol. But like the part that really hit home for me was that my life was unmanageable. Which in prime time we stress that that's my thought life while I'm sober. Because if you're here, you're probably sober. I don't care if it's a day or 30 days or whatever. And if you're not hearing me, that's because your thought life is unmanageable. And your mind is wandering, and my mind is always wandering. My mind is always thinking about me because I'm selfish and I'm self-centered. And my mind is always thinking about what you did wrong to me and how it's your fault. And I'm always, like Sasha said, like it's this freaking hamster wheel. And as soon as like something gets in there, it's just like, it's like this fire analogy. This is a really cool analogy about like how my thought life can become unmanageable in the day I'm in. Like if you're sitting by a fire and the fire's producing embers and like you get an ember on you, like without God, like God is like, or like, you know, like you get the ember off before it burns through your shirt. But like when I'm in my alcoholism, I'm just like looking at the ember and it burns through my shirt, and then I'm just watching it, trying to like figure it out, and it's like burning through my skin, and I'm trying to like figure it out. I'm trying to blame the fire. Why did that ember fall there? And now it's burning through my skin, and now there's a scar, and it's going to take me twice as long to heal that wound because I've been sitting there looking at it for so long. So my mind will just like create insanity and like all these different scenarios of like, I mean, I can't even imagine what would happen if I got a lawsuit. Like I'm like, you're like my hero, and like, I'm like in awe that you were able to get out of that, because if someone said they were suing me, like, I can't even imagine I would just play the tape through in my head, like I'm losing my company, I'm going to owe them all this money. It's just like all these different scenarios that just like aren't real. And that's like just what I do. But because I'm aware of it, I can sort of see it, and you know, like, God's got my back. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And this is just like another lesson that's going to make me stronger and like better. That's like on a really good day. On a good day, like some bad stuff happens, and I'm like, this is a learning experience. To be honest, I don't know that day's ever even happened, because every time bad things happen, I'm like crazy, but when I talk about it, I know what I'm supposed to do, and I know that it's supposed to be a learning experience, and I know that pain is like the cornerstone to like spiritual growth. Pain is like I was talking to my friend earlier today about like just walking into uncomfortable situations. Like every time I do it, I feel better afterwards. And this isn't like just an AA thing. This is like something I hear like on like Joe Rogan's podcast. I listen to Joe Rogan a lot, and like it's incredible. He's not even sober, but like he talks about some of the same principles, and he has people on his podcast like Jordan Peterson, who talks about like a lot of these incredible principles, like walking into like. And for me, the only way I can walk into an uncomfortable situation with like love and open mind is if I have this like power with me. Like when I'm driving, like he's sitting next to me, and I'm like, which way should I go? I remember Daniel used to talk about that here, like who I actually talk to every once in a while. He used to talk about like bringing the power with him everywhere he goes. And sometimes it helps to like visualize that. It's just hard to be a person like I am and like really find a God. And sometimes I'm just like, I can't even believe I'm talking about my God. I just can't even believe it. And that's the whole thing, which is step 2. Like just came to believe that a power greater than myself, greater than me, could restore me to sanity. Like maybe there's a power. I mean, just 2 is all about being open-minded. Like, I just need to have an open mind. Like, I need to try to have an open mind, which is so hard because I'm bringing, like, so much baggage into this room. Like, I'm bringing, like, over a decade of, like, negative, like, thought life and, like, getting loaded and, like, not being accountable and, like, hurting my family. And, like, I'm bringing all that into this room, and I'm trying to get sober. It's just, like, so hard. It's, like... But I just need to try to have an open mind and like leave all that stuff behind. Just one thing that I've been thinking a lot about lately is like why it's so important for me to be perfect. I present this image of perfection on the world, and when you tell me I did something wrong, it's World War III. I don't care if it's like I didn't do the dishes right, or I lost the company $100,000. Like, I do not want you pointing out my flaws. But, like, why, though? Like, why? So, like, for me, through, 15 years of therapy and the steps 5 times and 5 different sponsors, and I think I'm finally, like, becoming emotionally connected to the why of, like, why is it so important for me to be perfect? Or like, for you to believe that I'm perfect. And it's just because like deep down inside, I feel so flawed. I feel so useless and like worthless. And like, I feel like such a piece of because of all the damage I've done and like, just the way how do you have to think of yourself to get loaded every single day for over a decade? There's no self-love there. Like, I had to hate myself for years. And I'm bringing that into this room. And now I have to try to, like, I don't know. So, like, for me, like, with 13 years of sobriety, like I have achieved some great things, and like I am a good person. And like I have done a lot of good things, right? So when my mind starts telling me that I'm like useless and I'm worthless, I need to like with the help of God, like combat that. I need to fight those thoughts, like specifically with things that I'm proud of myself for. Like this might be a little bit like, I don't know, this is just for me. Like this is just what I'm going through right now in my sobriety with 13 years. Like I'm going to get a little bit specific. Because like this is what's helping me right now in the day that I'm in. Because just earlier today, one of my employees said that I've been speaking to them hostile. And I'm like, what? Like I'm so nice to you. Like I let you borrow the camera. I let you use the house. Like I'm just like, I'm constantly giving and I'm giving you attaboys and I'm like inspirational and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like you don't even know who I am. Like 5 years ago, like, you want to see hostile? Like, I've grown so much. But like the truth is, like I'm under a lot of stress. And like earlier today I called him and like, I probably could have told him that he ordered the wrong case like in a nicer way. That's all it is. Could I look at that? Could I just take a look at that one little stupid thing? Or do I have to fight him on it? I gotta fight him on it. And I gotta start pointing out where he is like not supporting me. And he doesn't like the new logo I designed. And he doesn't like this. He doesn't like that. And I can't work under, if you don't like what I'm doing, like how am I supposed to be creative? I need everyone to like support me and love me and like bow down to me. Like I need to be the boss. Like I need to be that. And if I feel like you're negative energy, like I can't create. Why? Because I'm insecure and I need validation constantly from everyone. And no matter how much I get, it's never enough. That's why I need to make a decision to turn my will and life over to the care of God. Because when I turn my will and life over to the care of God, it doesn't matter. I don't matter. Validate me, don't validate me. My primary purpose is only to serve you and to make this world a better place. That's it. How can I just like help like everyone? The problem is I gotta like make money, I gotta run the business, and I gotta like make it, the logo like has to be dope. So like who else is gonna make it dope but me? I have to make it dope. And if you don't agree that it's dope, now we're like arguing and it's like you just don't like know what's dope and like I do, and it's just like it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. Like I mean that's just like for me, that's what I'm going through today. But like, if I could just like pause for a minute, which is like the hardest thing for me to do, because I don't have any patience. I want to fix it right now. No, let's talk about it. I want to fix it now. I don't care. We're going to stay up all night and we're going to fix it. Because I don't want to deal with it not fixed. I need it to be fixed. Because I can't deal with anything that's like not perfect, including myself. Because if it's not fixed, like everything's broken. In the same way that if I'm not perfect, I'm totally flawed. It's black or white. It's all or nothing. I'm either drinking and I'm loaded or I'm totally sober. That's it. But I'm trying to find the middle ground. Like with working out. Like I found like this middle ground where I can just like do what I need to do. And like if I eat bad one day, like it's cool. Like it's one decision. And like I can make a better decision in the moment I'm in. Like I can eat good right now, regardless of if I ate bad earlier. Why has it got to be like, oh, I ate bad, I'm throwing the whole week away? Like, what is that? That's crazy. But that's like a problem that like normal people have too. It's like eating. Like my wife is like, it's crazy for her. She has to like, I mean, she's like packing lunches and like eating kale and like she's crazy with it. And I get to like kind of like mess around. Like I fully relapsed on this like trip I just went on to, I got to film a wedding in Aruba. Like a paid vacation. Like, are you crazy? Like, cause I'm like, I get to do what I love for a living. Like my life is so full. I can't even explain. Sometimes I wake up, or I don't wake up. When I wake up, I'm miserable. I'm in a headlock. I'm like literally thinking about suicide or not getting out of bed. But at night, sometimes I'm like, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Like, how did I get to be so lucky? I'm like asking God, like, why is my life so good? And it's all because of God. It's all because of this program. And you guys, my brothers, who I love so much, we're like a bunch of Vikings. I'm watching this new show, Vikings. It's so dope. It's on, I don't know how I missed this show. It's like Game of Thrones, but like 5 times better. It's on the HD, or it's on History Channel, and it's like, I was thinking about like how we're just like a bunch of Vikings, and we're just like a band of brothers, and we're just like fighting like our enemy, which is like our mind. It's like this like, I use the Star Wars analogy a lot because I just like love it. Like I feel like alcoholism is the dark side, and I can go to it like whenever I want, sober or not, and it can get me some stuff. Like ego and like my ego and my drive as an alcoholic, like I can win. Like I'm gonna beat you. Like I don't care how hard it's gonna be. Like I'm gonna do it. Because if I don't, I'm worthless. So I can get some stuff like that. But that's like the dark side. Like Darth Vader was mad powerful. But that's because of the dark side. But like Luke was with the Force, which for me is like God and like this program. And he was like that's like a harder, like slower, like stronger, like way that like actually like low key in the end will defeat the Force. So, and then Yoda talks about like the Force being like weightlessness and like selflessness and like love, and like it's crazy. Like George Lucas was ill with it. Like he was onto something with that. Like this isn't just about alcoholism. This is about a way of life. Like I feel like AA is sort of like the modern day religion where it's combining all religions, and you can choose whatever you want, which is the way it should be. Like, if you're Jewish, all good. Like, and I'm Christian, and he's Buddhist, and he's doing yoga. Like, it's all the same stuff. Like, we're just trying to be good people and help others. All the little specific things, those are just, like, stories to help us, like, understand, like, what it's like to battle the dragon in the lair. Like, Lord of the Rings is, like, an analogy for, like, our mind. Like, that dragon, like, that's my demons. Those are my demons. And I fought those demons today on the road while I was on the phone with this dude. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Oh, we're Vikings. Yeah, it's cool. We're like brothers, man. It's so incredible. I was looking out and I was just thinking about like how much like I just love this program, and I just love you guys, and I just like, I was listening to Henry Rollins today on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about how he's uncomfortable in like social settings. And like, I get that. Well, that's probably because I'm sober and everyone else is wasted. But like, I feel comfortable like up here. This is where I'm comfortable, like performing. Like I heard that. Like I can't wait to get up here and talk to you guys. Like when he asked me to speak, I'm like, all right, like I get to give away some of the stuff that I've been given. And like, I don't care if I look bad, or if like whatever, man, like who cares? Like we're just like trying to survive here. Like when I go out on the street and I'm driving my car, like you guys aren't going to be there to judge me. It's just me and God. You know, I'll call you maybe, like you could call me, but like it doesn't really matter like what you guys think of me and like what everyone else in the world thinks of me. Like that's not my problem. Like my problem, and sometimes that's a tough one because I want dude to like really think I'm dope. And he like doesn't, and that's like hard for me sometimes. But the truth is like it doesn't matter, and I'm the happiest when I'm not thinking about myself. And God's will for me is to think of others. And it's to help others. It's just like such a cool program, but like you really got to dive in with both feet. Like half measures avail us nothing. And I was half measuring it for a while, and if it wasn't for this particular room, I wouldn't really even have known how to like take a full step. I'm completely powerless over every single thought that comes into my mind. Complete defeat. When my wife tells me I did something wrong, the first thought that comes to my mind is the wrong thought. It is the wrong thought. How do I pause and ask God to be with me in that moment. I just do it. I just pause and I ask God to be with me in that moment. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's really cool that it worked for you, Sasha, and that story is inspiring. I believe that you were able to get some relief from that. And that's really all I want is like relief and peace. Like I don't even necessarily deserve to be happy every day. What is that? Who said we were supposed to be happy every day? I just want peace, you know? I want to be able to walk into uncomfortable situations and grow from them. So thanks for letting me speak and listen.